Hi, my name's Faith Wilson. I'm with the Faith Wilson Realty Group, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about what's happening in the market. One of the key questions I get asked, whether in casual conversation or if I'm going to see some folks about them selling their home or if I'm sitting down with a buyer, is what's happening in the market. Everybody wants to know the answer to that, and it is a fluid answer because markets change and fluctuate continuously. Much of what we hear in the media are sound bites about the statistics for Greater Vancouver. When I'm meeting a new client, whether it's to sit down and talk about perhaps listing their home or if I'm going to be sitting down with the buyer and talking about what their needs are, one of the questions that will come out pretty immediately is what is happening in the market and how does it affect what I'm either going to buy or sell. A lot of what we hear in the media are sound bites that speak to Greater Vancouver statistics. For example, the number of properties that have sold year over year for Greater Vancouver is up 14%, and the number of properties that are currently on the market to be sold are down by 6.7%. So that's a great snapshot. It tells us that the number of properties that are sold are up, the number of properties on the market are down, so supply and demand. Generally speaking, the market in Vancouver is very, very strong. I would say overall we're in a balanced market. Some of the market is a seller's market. It's very specific if it is that. But it really depends on what type of property you're buying. So a condo, if you're buying a condominium downtown, for example, it's going to be a very different picture than if you're buying a home between 1.5 and 1,750 in Dunbar or Point Grey. It's just a different picture. All the neighborhoods in Vancouver West Side are up year over year, percentage-wise. There are three or four stars. South Cambie, Shaughnessy, and Kitsilano are all in the double digits for increase percentage-wise and price point year over year. That's a good thing to know. And if you're looking in a particular neighborhood, you'd probably want to know what that particular statistic is for that. Is the market, has it gone up or down, even over the last 3 or 6 months? Is there a trend there that you want to identify for your client? Price segments too are important. A good example of that right now is Dunbar. In Dunbar right now, if you have a home for sale that's between 1.5 and 1.750, you are actually in a seller's market. So not a balanced market, not a buyer's market, but a seller's market. You have a very highly desirable property. In the future, when I'm doing the market update, what I thought I would do is actually identify a neighborhood or two and delve into that neighborhood, give you specific statistics on that neighborhood that reflect what it actually is doing. When you're looking to buy a property, if you're looking on the buy side, then you really need to, first of all, decide where you want to be, what neighborhood, and it's been my experience, I think everyone buys for a lifestyle. And when people sell, they're selling to change that lifestyle and go into another lifestyle. So things that are important for people when they're looking at a neighborhood are what that lifestyle affords. If it's schools, what are the schools, what's the proximity? A lot of people nowadays talk about walkability. Everyone wants to have that option to, walk to the grocery store or go get a cup of coffee somewhere, maybe go for a walk, where's the closest park. So these are some of the things that people will look at and what their lifestyle is. If people are downsizing, that's a lifestyle choice, and they may go from a larger home into something that's easier to manage, more lock and go if they want to travel. So generally right now, again, in Vancouver, the market is strong. There's a fair amount of foreign investment. So even though you've heard that the program for foreign investors to come into Vancouver has been, has stopped, it had been frozen for a little while anyway. I don't see that affecting our market. There's still lots of money in the market from foreign investors. And, it makes it a bit more difficult, say, for the local person. But again, I think too, when we look at that, or talk about who is the local person, the demographics there are so varied as well. Interest rates continue to be at an all-time low, which obviously affects markets. We have been the recipient of these great low interest rates for quite a while. Anticipate that they will continue to stay low as much as anyone can anticipate an interest rate. And there's various factors for that, of course, one being general economy, what other world economies are doing that would affect Canada and our interest rates, for example. And that is, having a low interest rate is a benefit to keeping a market active. Vancouver specifically as a city is considered a great city to live in. All of these are factors that I think would come into play when people are looking at where they may want to reside in the world, and I think Vancouver would be certainly one of the top choices. In closing, if you're interested in actually having a little snapshot of your particular property and how it fits into the neighborhood, and what that looks like for you, just give us a call. We'd be happy to do that for you. And look forward to seeing you again next month for our market update.